Hello? Hello, everybody. I mean, not that anyone's here. So I discovered something. Let's go ahead and put these shovels away. I will need them again. But I'll just conjure another one. Which reminds me, I don't need to make a charcoal pit because I'm a filthy cheater. Let's go ahead and just grab, like, I don't know, 12 of these. Put those back. Excuse me. Cannot immediately start burping into the microphone when I stream. Very unprofessional. Also, probably should have just eaten these before. Oh, can put that back. Breaking this hole. So we need to really enter the copper age. But I want to plant my flax and perhaps some rice and sunflowers. So, between streams, if you look here, I've been doing a lot of summoning tools. That's because I'm fucking up the countryside. It doesn't look very good, in my defense. I've been mostly doing it at night, for some reason. But, look at how much space I've cleared. I'm not done. In fact, I probably should have brought one of those shovels with me, but we'll conjure another one. It's no big deal. Nobody ever accused me of being smart. Are those? Yeah, conjuring another shovel. Let's go ahead and clear this stuff. And then I'm going to have to make, like, 71 flint hose. And I'm going to need to fucking place medium fertility soil. With the amount of complaining I'm doing, you'd think that I don't actually enjoy farming, but you would be wrong. I love farming, I'm just fucking lazy as shit. I need to destroy more of this hill. I avoided the corn, or the sunflowers. Holy shit, those are mature sunflowers. Like, you never see that. Mature sunflowers are so rare that I thought those were corn. Anyway, let's go ahead and start making some hoe heads. Plant the wild daisy. Don't need to put them anywhere special, just out of my inventory. I don't have my wand on me, but there's nowhere I can really put it. Grab this stack of dirt. If this seems wasteful, it's because it is. Do not need medium fertility soil for much. More than anything, I would rather have the inventory space. Alright, let's go ahead and find out what I did with my flint. It's probably in the boat. I'm a bit of a disaster. Hello, Pocket! I meant to go live earlier, but I got distracted digging holes. Crabs. That's a lot of crabs. If I was more violent, I could probably murder those crabs. And make, like, crab soup. Do you like crab? Me too. Now, I'm trying to get all this fucking flax planted. But I've also got rice and sunflowers I would like to plant. I need to find out what I did with my flint. Oh, here's my flint. Yoink. Alright, let's get out of here. Now I need to get barrels and stuff made so that I can actually start cultivating mushrooms and whatnot. I do not think... Oh, it's a snake. I do not think that the pink oyster mushrooms are going to die. But... oh, sorry. If I can start cultivating them, I don't have to worry about that. Right, so over here will be my workspace. Go and just get a bunch of these lined up. Start making some hoes. Probably wondering how many hoes I need. Very likely going to need more than even this. Right. Last two. Nah, so if you look at my chat log, I've been spawning in a bunch of tools. Fucked up a perfectly good countryside is what I did. Oh shit, I don't have any inventory space. What do I have that I don't care about? Probably the low fertility soil. Got a lot of low fertility soil. It's almost like I've been out here digging holes. No, so the plan is to eventually make this place look good. Like, I'm ruining it now. But eventually I'll have, like, roads connecting everything. I still need to set up, like, some greenhouses, and probably over there. Maybe a barn. And get things looking good. And put that over there. I will not explain myself, so do not ask what I've got. Multiple, conjured shovels. Right, there we go. Let's go ahead and start making some furrows. Also, I've got a new song stuck in my head. It feels like I've got a different song stuck in my head every day. Yeah, which is pretty annoying. It's too many songs. I don't even know the name of this one. Pretty catchy, though. It's like, what goes up, comes down, it's necessary. It's, something, something. It's like, you'll feel better tomorrow. Even though you think you're gonna die. I don't actually know any of the lyrics. Ignore me. How are you doing, Pocket? Oh shit, I'm going to need that pickaxe back. Also, there are hares in this area. I don't know if hares are interested in my grains. But I'm going to have to... At least as I grow crops I care more about. Protect them from hares. Bit of a headache. Oof. Earlier this week I had a pretty bad headache. That just refused to go away. I think it was the day I didn't stream. I was tempted to not stream today. But technically there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just feeling particularly lazy. Which is a horrible reason to not stream. Oh, that does damage my health. The more you know, and knowing is half the battle. As I keep doing it, let's switch off. Unfortunately, even if I gave myself the spell that allows me to conjure a hoe, conjured hoes for some reason cannot make furrows. Don't know why, but they can't. I'm breaking all my stuff. Man, this place is going to be so ugly by the time I'm done with it. But that's fine. Things need not look good, as long as they function. Unless you're me. I am neither functioning, nor do I look good. But it is what it is. I'm allowed to be ugly as shit, as like a treat. What if I shouldn't? Nah, I know I should. So my plan, because I'm too lazy to make a charcoal pit, is to just use my conjured pickaxe to collect some of that brown coal I've got in the area. You know, like a cheater. But why would I have the ability to conjure a pickaxe if I'm not going to use it? Checkmate, atheists. Yeah, bringing forward 1. Gonna have to find where I can and cannot actually use these furrows. Logically, I can use the furrows everywhere. I should also only be breaking grass if it's actively in my way, because I will be digging all this shit back up later. And so much to do. And so much to see. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow. Hey now. You know, I said earlier that I was feeling fine, but I think I was lying. I'm stupid. Like, I don't feel sick. But I am losing my mind. What little mind I have to lose, anyway. Also, I'm starting to feel like furrows can just kind of go on forever. 1 second. Alright. Oh, better crouch. Boom. Break this. Might as well break this preemptively, since it is in the way. So much to do. I'm not going to break out singing Smash Mouth again, though. Got so many chores, both in-game and in real life. All that need my attention. Alright, this might be the last bend for this one. And then I'll see if I can't work it into the next one. There it goes. Maho. I don't think I grabbed enough sticks. That's my flint. And considering I'm still going to have to till the medium fertility soil when I go and put that down. That is assuming I even have enough medium fertility soil. I'll get 2 stacks in a bit. Which probably enough. Oh, hello, Laxia. I'm not a boy. I like pocket ears. I'm like 27 bad ideas in a really silly hat. Where'd it go? Oh, gotta crouch. If I start here... No, that's only going to partially work. I suppose I could connect. Yes, in the loosest of terms. And just change your name to Pocket Boy. I mean, maybe don't. I could always close these off. That would slightly reduce the amount of farmable land I've got. There we go, this won't reduce it by any. We'll figure it out. Is anybody else dying? Whoops, can't break shit with that. You'd think I would learn. Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. Don't worry, guys, I won't sing Smash Mouth again. Breaking sedge does make me feel bad. I don't particularly care about it, but it is a pretty good renewable source of grass. Grass is just not particularly unrenewable, if that makes sense. Alright. Let's go and follow this one this way. I'm gonna have to make another fucking hoe. Yeah, I've still got one. Yes. Grass will grow in places you don't want it to. So, like, you don't have to worry about running out of grass. But sedge is a lot easier to control where it grows. Alright. I'm going to also bring this one over. I might switch functions as soon as I complete this bit. Not switching functions to something else I should be doing, such as melting copper. But I'll probably go grab one of my shovels and start digging out the dirt in between. There we go. Oh shit, I forgot I did that. I'm gonna close that off. Alright. Hoe there. Although it's starting to get dark. I think I got all this spelt grain I can eat. Rift activity is low, so technically I'm not safe. Put that down, grab my shovel. Alright. Where? Uh-oh, I'm getting stuck. I do wonder why I can't seem to swim up blocks. Help me. There we go. Let's just avoid getting stuck. If I can help it. No, I've got it set up to where I've got 2 minutes of lung capacity. Which is a lot of lung capacity. Ah, sweet. Managed to get out. But honestly, falling in the water still sucks. Even when you can hold your breath a really long time. That's not my shovel. Another issue with furrows is that unfortunately they are not very set and forget. I'm going to have to check them every now and then. You know, but the reason I have to check them is that they get clogged with pretty useful resources, such as rotten grass. Whoops. So it's worth coming over here every now and then, picking up everything that's clogging the furrows anyway. Water behaves strangely. I mean, to be fair, the furrows are a modded thing. So the furrows behaving strangely, whoops, doesn't really reflect on the game itself, since it's added by a player rather than the developers. Probably gonna have to go back home and eat, as well as possibly sleep. Rift activity being low means that monsters can spawn. Interesting. I'm curious as to how the water physics actually work. Whoops. Help. Getting stuck in here is not very helpful. There we go. Yep. My hunger quickly climbs, and since rift activity didn't go back down, it's probably smarter for me to go home, eat some bread, go to bed. The patented bread and bed strategy. Eventually I'll get fish traps going in this pond, so that we can at least have access to protein. Avali are obligate carnivores. It would make the most sense. Yo, popo. Just gonna eat breadcrumbs until we're full. It's a good thing breadcrumbs are still super powerful. I can't tell if Leitman, the developer of this mod, was being serious when he said that he was going to nerf breadcrumbs. Logically, they should be nerfed at least a tiny bit. This skeleton we haven't named yet agrees. Still no door. You cannot make a solid door until you have a saw. I could make a shoddy door or whatever it's called. Like a rickety one. But it's not very good. Oh, there we go. Alright, let's go. Back to what we were doing. Rift activities, still low. That's not good. A thunderstorm without rain can cause fires. I actually don't think it will unless you have it set up to do that. Did I set it up to do that? No, I'm tempted though. What's funny though is that the rickety door used to occasionally break, and then I swear they removed that only to add it back in. Because there was a while that my rickety door never fell off. My shovel is blue because I'm conjuring it with magic. An object made out of condensed mana that will disappear over time. Got 27 hours left with it. Oh, honestly, these things, despite being like iron tier in durability, I'm breaking them constantly. What, did they remove the doors breaking? I don't know. Maybe it wasn't behaving the way it should. Maybe it got really annoying. And then they put it back in because they're like, you know what? It can be a tiny bit annoying as a treat. Yes, Conjuration is my favorite school in Rustbound Magic. Honestly, if I could play on a server where I could focus more on the magic, I would do it without cheating. Unfortunately, as it is... Oh, shit. I'm gonna have to fix that. Like, as it is, Rustbound Magic is so grindy that you can't really focus on anything else. Alright, there you go. I could go a little bit further that way with it. I don't know, the thunderstorm's over there. Maybe there is rain and it's just not visible to me where I'm at. It's gonna be hard, but if I was being a little bit smarter about my crop placement, one thing that I could do... Oh, there's a rift. One thing that I could do is I could build like little pit traps. So that when hares come to eat my shit, like my crops, they would get stuck in the pit, and then I would be able to harvest them for food. Although obviously, I'm not setting my farm up in a way that you could even generously describe as intelligent. Mm. No one could, in theory, be medium fertility soil. Oh, I'm actually running out of medium fertility soil. What I do wish you could do is I wish you could have, like, summons. Like, actual little summoned minions to protect you in battle. But Terraria, Summoner is, like, my favorite class. Because I'm blind, and it's pretty hard for me to pay attention. Yeah, let's go to the Woad. Well, what about my task? Yeah, true. I could have the summons protect me while I'm just trying to focus on my own shit. But with my poor vision and even worse attention span, I should break this. How'd it go? I'll stabilize it instead. Alright. What I need to do is also set up like a field somewhere that I can put 1,000 stones down. And start collecting earthworms for earthworm castings. I'll have to see how winter behaves in this area. But I'm guessing that winter is going to be really short. Which is like the opposite of what I would want in real life. But in the game, very short winters are preferable. And based on the fact that there are sunflowers and shit growing around here, I'm in a much warmer climate than I thought I was setting up in. And it's not like I don't like making bases in warmer climates. Hello, Vicar! Hey, Vicar, could you check or test the new thing I put in? It only costs a single point. Assuming I actually saved it. I would be lying if I said I was paying attention. It's just called check-in. No, not that one. It costs a single necrotic flux. There you go. Now I just need somebody else to test it. I should have set it up to where you can only do it once per stream. But I'm pretty sure I set it up to where it's like once per stream per person. Probably. Either that or it's once per stream total, which is not what I want. I think I set it up correctly. I am pretty dumb though, so it's totally possible I fucked it up. Gonna have to go grab more sticks. Damn it. Honestly, for what I'm doing now, if I could conjure a hoe, it would be fine. Conjure hoe is a spell. Well, it's just not one that I have. Honestly, I'm probably going to have to go track down my sanctum and destroy it as soon as we start actually spell crafting. Yeah, snowstorms are a thing. Honestly, blizzards in this game are very pretty. And as long as you're cold weather, like hardy, they're pretty cool. Like, they're totally fine. There are hailstorms in the game, which can damage you. But to be fair, hail is just big-ass chunks of ice falling from the sky. So it makes sense that would hurt. At least a little bit. What is the climate currently like down under? No, it does not check how many streams you've checked in. The streamer I stole the idea from does have it tell you how many times you've used it. So I should probably figure out how to do that. The problem is that I'm really dumb. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. So if you can figure out how to set it up to where it does keep track of how many times you use check-in, we'll definitely do that. But more than anything, it just kind of lets me know you're here. Even if you're a lurker, you should have access to one necrotic flux. Oh yeah, it is kind of neat that it's raining. Oh, rainfall is common. Usually I live in areas of extremely common rainfall. And if you go back and watch any of my old streams, you can tell that rainfall is pretty common. Alright. A streamer dragon playing Dwarf Fortress? No. Who's out here playing Dwarf Fortress on stream? I do actually kind of want to play Dwarf Fortress, but I don't feel like I have the attention span for it. It's not like Vintage Story isn't the same way. I'm just really impatient and often cheat in hilarious ways. But Dwarf Fortress really does feel like learning all of the mechanics and making decent progress in the game would be like a second job. Although I'm not making money streaming, so this is almost like a second job. Oh, that's low furt. Grassy, furrowed, it's also low furt. Why is this medium? Oh, because I made it. I put it there. Ignore me, I'm being a clown. No, that weird British kid that I sometimes raid. It has a check-in system. Alright, Rocket's like 22. He just looks 14, and everyone makes fun of him for it. Alright. Let's go and plant all of my flax. And then probably an equal amount of rice and sunflowers. Will rabbits steal my grain, or do they only care about vegetables? I know that if you're breeding rabbits, they will not accept grain. But I figure that's just because they're picky. But they will eat the fuck out of carrots. I don't think that they can eat onions, though. I think onions are, like, toxic to a lot of animals. Pigs can eat onions, though. Alright, more of my flax. Alright. Plant a bunch of rice. Might just be able to plant a stack of each. This isn't even all of the land I wanted to use for farming. But already it's looking like it's going to consume all of my seeds. Or at least all the ones I'm actively trying to plant anyway. What did I do with my sunflower seeds? Never mind, here they are, I'm just stupid. Ignore me. Oh shit. Gotta break out a hoe anyway. And start collecting these. Look at that. I just got 3 sticks. I don't know if making furrows just to collect sticks and rot at random would be a good use of your space or time. But that you can is very interesting. I'm actually surprised I've never bothered using furrows before. I might have gone through like 11 hoes just doing this. Okay, so you're asking the streamer how they set it up to count? What I need is just more interactivity with my stream chat. I've not looked into it yet, but if I do play Peak again, and I probably will, there is a mod which allows stream, like Twitch chat, to interact in some strange way. I'm not entirely sure what Twitch chat would possibly be doing. Alright, it's probably enough rice. I can plant all my sunflowers. Boom, boom. Alright, and I've still got seeds for future harvests. I should get some earthworms. If I can make earthworm castings, I can fertilize all my stuff. Oh, you sent me a DM. That makes more sense. Gotta figure out how to set that up, though. How cool would it be if we could keep track of how often people check in? Right, let's eat some more breadcrumbs. I think 11 is as much as I need. There we go. Obligate carnivore. Farming plants moment. Well, a volley can eat other things. Hell, a volley season their food within canon. They just have to be mostly eating meat. Which I'm not doing, because I'm too lazy to set up fish traps. But I'll be setting up fish traps sooner than never. Alright, there we go. Alright, so instead of setting up a charcoal pit... Oh, no mana. Let's go ahead and just collect some of this brown coal. Supposedly brown coal does get hot enough to melt copper. Honestly, all of the crops that I am growing right now are grains. And considering you can make meat dumplings, and with one of the mods I have, you can even make blood bread. It makes sense that I would want grains. There are two different mods using the butchering mod. One lets you use blood instead of eggs, which, depending on what you're making, is actually a substitute people make. And the other one lets you use blood in the place of, like, water when you're making stuff like muffins and dumplings. Which means I can make blood muffins, and who doesn't want to eat something called a blood muffin? Look at all this brown coal. Honestly, I've got a lot of crops, like vegetables, that I would like to plant. But with it being summer, and where I live, probably gonna have to wait until fall if I don't want it to die. Well, there's a good chance that carrots will just never grow well in this climate. And parsnips will almost certainly never grow in this climate. Alright, there we go, stack of coal. All of this flint and rocks is also pretty good. Because if I cannot find fire clay, I can make fire clay using calcined flint. Am I pronouncing that correctly? I have no idea. Alright, let's go ahead and just at random throw some seeds in here. There we go, it's full now. That's my saucepan. Here's my crucible. I don't have a fire pit. I should probably set one up. Here we go. Thing of beauty. Does anything look quite as good as a fire pit with a block hovering directly over it? I personally think not. Don't worry, all of this ugly is temporary. Alright. Let's go ahead and get this started, and then I'll go make my rope. Whoops, what is this? Water lily, go ahead and put that back. Coil of rope. Now I need a bunch of sticks. Alright, look at that oak tree. What am I doing? Well, it's time consuming, but if I use the wand to make sticks... All the branchy leaves I would get sticks from anyway. The walnut leaves without the branches, like these ones, normally you wouldn't get sticks from that. But I can, because I'm built different. But which I mean I'm a mage. Hello, Bob. How you doing? Was more tired? Do you have ADHD? It's not uncommon for that to happen. I find that caffeine helps me focus, but it really doesn't wake me up the way you would want caffeine to. There we go. Oh shit, this thing's about to start cooling. Which we don't want to happen. Oh, I hear a rift. I hear it. Went to an assessment yet? That's fire. I was diagnosed with ADHD like 7,000 years ago. Or in 2012, I can't remember. Oh yes, Bob, if you have a single point of necrotic flux, you can use something called check-in. It does not currently keep track of how many times you've checked in. Well, that is a feature I would like. Just so that even people who miss a stream... Yeah, there you go. It would be cool if we could set it up to where it tells you how many times you've used it. So, like, even if you do miss a stream and break your streak, we can still use the check-in to just let me know how many times you've been here. Yes. Melt my brown coal. Melt! There are metals brown coal is not good enough to melt, but apparently copper is not one of them. Which is good, because I'm too lazy to make a chuckle pit. What? I don't have a brain, unfortunately. Everyone, like, is talking about the ADHD mind, but I don't have a mind. I'm gonna take that out. Alright. Not matter. Hell yeah. Can I lean this against a wall, or... Good, good. Holy shit, those tongs are as tall as I am. Look at that. Usually, even when I'm complaining about being tired, like, I'm not tired, I'm just unmotivated, if that makes sense. I've never been diagnosed with depression. But occasionally I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, it's like, wow, I'm so depressed. I'm depressed. Who'd have guessed? Put our service to the test. Although executive dysfunction is, like, extremely similar to symptoms of depression. It's like, oh, don't get me wrong, I would like to focus, but I just can't. My brain will not let me do my dishes. And you sound like a crazy person. It's like, oh no, I want to do my dishes. Red currant. Catmint and heather are my two favorite flowers in this game. Oh, some white currant bushios. Go ahead and let them do their thing. Run their course. Oh. How many parsnips is that? That's a lot of parsnips. Nope, shiver. Run for it. Be our guest, put our service to the test. Oh shit, I can get up here. Ow. Soon, I can possibly make a hammer. Or not a hammer. I'm making that now. Honestly, I wish the enemies weren't so damn annoying. Do I have a spear? No. How much damage does the pickaxe do? Only 2? How much damage does an axe do? That's a shovel. The axe does 3 points of damage. So better than the shovel. .4 GPA. My graduating grade point average, ow, was 1.9. Which anybody who understands the American school system would know that 1.9 is not high enough to graduate. I didn't do homework, so I ended up having to take online college courses that counted towards my credits, but not my GPA. Oh, there you are. I wish shivers weren't so fucking annoying. Go away. I'm just trying to live my life. Put that there. Crawl in here. There you go. Not going to be able to make a lot of food, but I can make some decent food. Where are you, Bothorn? Honestly, this is why I had to disable monsters before. Or not disable them. Set them to passive. I'm just trying to get tasks done, and all they do is distract me. Like, I don't even find them challenging or interesting. They just kind of exist to piss me off. I suppose a lot of people do like the challenge of having to work around annoying monsters, but I don't. I'm just trying to cook my shit, dog. Cook my shit. Sweet, it was hot enough to relight itself. Come with me, and you'll see a world of OSHA violations. Whoops. I should probably collect a bunch of these Rift Bloom seeds. Oh damn, that one only died in 2 hits. It's probably one that I attacked earlier. Or it spent a good amount of time fighting other drifters. I don't know why, but they do that. Are you done? No. Oh, apparently I can't. Oh, I see what went wrong. Must have happened when I was distracted with the bullshit. Let's put those in there. What also doesn't help that my Twitch activity feed is covering that. But I do think that I wouldn't have fucked it up if I wasn't dealing with the monsters. No, those aren't. Those are sugar beets for one, and they're not done. Do. No, I don't serve customers. In fact, I will do everything I can to avoid customer service. I just stock shelves and unload trucks. I'm strong, fast, and forklift certified. If they want me to serve customers, they're going to have to pay me like an extra $70 an hour. Not to mention I'm a crazy person and shouldn't even be in the building if we're open. Get over here and die. Who's throwing rocks? Y'all, I'm just trying to cook food. I should probably be careful. How embarrassing would it be to die while I'm just trying to make some parsnip stew? And grab these. This is almost done. And then I can go back into hiding. Come on, come on, come on. Hell yeah. Let's go. Whoop-a-boo-boo. Put that there. I don't think it matters too much what I block this wall with. There we go. So check it out. 450 vegetable satiety, 202 grain satiety. Yeah, this is not the best food I've ever made. But it will keep me alive for now. Let's honk me. Wait. Let's use bandages so I don't waste too much satiety when I sleep. And then let's honk me. Why is carpet in suspicious air quotes? Wood carpet, that's fair. Considering I have to use the forklift sometimes, I would not call it light physical labor. Although I guess if I'm using the forklift, I'm not doing too much physical labor. But there is a bunch of picking up heavy shit. You're supposed to call for a team lift for anything that it's more than 75 pounds. But as unfortunate as it is, sometimes you'll be solo lifting like 200 pounds shit. There we go. Hardware stores carry some heavy ass products. Right, you get back over here. Oh, sweet. I think I got that right before it disappeared. Anyway, let's kill this guy. I don't want him in the area. Ow. How come you can hit me through the grass, but I can't seem to hit you through the grass? I actually think there is a mod that makes it where you can swing through the grass. Yeah, there are some things that you're probably not going to want to pick up on your own. Not a whole lot of things. A lot of stuff, even if it's like 200 pounds, you can pick up just fine by yourself. But then there's stuff that's like 200 pounds and awkwardly shaped. And it's more the awkward shape that makes it where you don't want to pick it up on your own. Alright. My crops are coming along nicely. Going to have to occasionally come through and declutter them. Look at that, I got 3 liters of rot. You need 64 liters of rot to make compost, but we're going to ignore that. Going to call my 3 liters of rot an accomplishment. I don't know how much a pound is. A pound is like a pound of butter. I'm joking, being helpful. About 1.5 kilogram. Why is all of my copper poor? The copper economy is in shambles. Oh, it's half a kg, not 1.5. I don't know where I got the word 1 from. Ooh, limestone! I mean, that's just cobblestone. Nothing I can't make myself. I need to stop carrying a lantern in my offhand when it's bright, like broad daylight out. Let's go and check my furrows. There we go. Honestly, the furrows being clogged for a bit aren't going to slow down the growth that much. What's funny about you saying you're number 1 is that Satu is short for Satu Sepa, which in Finnish means storyteller. But apparently Satu, like by itself, is the Malaysian word for 1. Or Malay word for 1. I think the language is called Malay. Don't quote me on that. I'm an ignorant white NB. It's what I do. Do. That's a decent amount of copper. Sure, not ideal. Not ideal indeed. Open this up. Hello, Zombie Ace. 600, that's not nearly enough. 1280, that's probably too much. No. How much do I want? Alright, so 800 is not nearly enough. 1100, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just being a dork who cannot read or count. Whoops. I might be stupid, chat. I'm back from drinking juice. Drinking juice you made as a decaf mocha. I don't know what that means. How are you doing, Zombie Ace? And also, the vintage goes all right. Assuming my math is right, and hopefully it is, because it's not difficult math, I should have what I need to make an anvil and 2 ingots. Damn it, my shit's all full. Move this. I don't need a saucepan anyway. Put that there. Ingot mold, 1 and 2. Probably could have organized these after lighting that, but it is what it is. My brain's just kind of not working. Is the copper eligible for any anti-poverty stuff? Can they go to a food bank? I don't know if going to a food bank is a good idea. Apparently copper is usually lined with stuff when made, like, used to make cookware. Because copper likes to, what's the word I'm looking for here? Not diffuse, necessarily. But like the opposite of leach. So food will absorb a tiny bit of the copper while you cook. Effectively very slowly poisoning you. Copper's not the most toxic metal, but you don't want to be eating it either. Oh, was that a bowthorn? Or am I hearing things? Also, why am I holding my lantern in my offhand? It's broad daylight. This is why I'm constantly starving. Exactly 1 unit higher. Well, everything is in units of 5, I believe. So being exactly 1 would be very silly. Oh, it's actually already up to temp. Almost up to temp. And now it's up to temp. I don't know how many that's going to need. We'll just babysit it. It'll be fine. Good thing there's a bunch of brown coal around here. All of them. Just to change each one of these nuggets to be 6 units of copper instead of 5 units of copper. Making it very difficult to get the exact units of 100 that you need. I need to not wander off. I might use the rest of this field over here for my earthworms. I don't want to break my scythe, though, so I need to not be lazy about it. Not that I made my scythe. I found it. Look at it. A tin bronze scythe. Would not be the first thing I would make out of tin bronze, if I had any. Do. We need to get a server going so I can play with Mortal Valley. I've played in a server, yeah. My Twitch mod, Vicar, a mutual friend of ours, hosted a server for a while. I'm not bad at mining, but I don't like it. And then I'm bad at building. And I'm lazy, so I don't like collecting firewood and stuff. All of my favorite things to do in Vintage Story are pretty much just, like, farm, cook, manage livestock, manage orchards. So I'm really good at feeding groups, but I'm not very good at keeping myself alive. And to be fair, I'm just a small bird, so I'm just out here living in a rammed earth shack, eating breadcrumbs. I am usually, a tiny bit more chaotic than this. But even at my most chaotic, I try to remain mostly chill. I'm pretty low energy at the moment. Just kind of doing some chores. As soon as I've got an anvil and can make a saw, I'm going to start making paper so I can cultivate mushrooms. There's a lot that needs doing. I also need lime water. Thankfully, limestone is pretty much everywhere. Look at all this limestone I've got right here. I've got better ruins, so I was able to find a quern inside of a ruin. I've also got this, a brilliant pickaxe. So it's not like I don't have the resources to collect a bunch of metal. I just don't have anything to work it right now. But that is what we're working on fixing. Also, check it out. So my tongs here, pretty much, actually they might be taller than I am. They are leaning against a wall. Alright. Yoink, grab the tongs. Come on, hurry up. Hopefully the rain won't destroy my pottery. My pottery is under cover. I'm going to expand the cover a tiny bit, just in case. Can still get in there. Oh, wait, when it just stopped raining. Nope, might still be sprinkling. Come on! Rápidamente, por favor. No veas tiquitos. Yeah, it's still raining. Let's just collect some dirt. And fill out the space a tiny bit more. Last thing I want is for 1100 units of copper to be wasted. Nope, that's not where I wanted to put you, and you know it. There we go. Now one more. Dirt, and my pits should be covered. Boom. Come on. I'm probably just being impatient, but why does metal take so long to melt? Well, it'll probably take quite a while for this amount of copper to melt in real life as well. Come on, come on. I have other chores that need doing. Alright. Yeah, I'll definitely still be live. For about another 2 hours. Come on, let's go. Do. 2 hours from now, I will probably still be watching this frickin' cauldron. Or not cauldron, crucible. I want a cauldron, but that's a tiny bit more copper than I can afford to use at the moment. I think the small one is only 300 units, but the big one is 600. Very nearly. Ow, what the hell? Oh. Do you mind? I'm very busy at the moment. Get down here. Alright, it's dead. Give me this. Ended up wasting one more coal than I would like to have, but it's like I wasn't getting distracted. Come on. There we go. Now the other one. There we go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and eat some food. Boom. Oh, where's my bowl? On me. Yeah, I'm gonna have to cook more food. But for now, let's go and cut up some grass. Leave that there, leave that there, leave that there. Those will disappear over time. Alright. Let's go ahead and remove grass mode. I'll also check my furrows while I'm over there. They won't create too many problems. Left unchecked. Right. Now they might all be clear. Yeah, they're looking fine. It would be nice if I could get like a good vantage point. Cutting all the grass. It's not gonna stay cut for long. 1 second. I don't know why I get all phlegmy. It's fine. Phlegm is a fun word. Alright. Whoops. I'm accidentally cutting the tulle as well. Ended up with a single thatch I don't actually want. Boom-ba-doom. I'll leave that sedge alone. I'm getting tired of breaking sedge. if I did the responsible thing and put that somewhere, it would only benefit me in the future. I'm just crawling around like a gremlin and placing rocks. This looks silly, but it is actually very intelligent. I have an IQ of 7 billion. That's why they call me MG Fahrenheit. Don't worry, Vicar, I am sitting up. My posture is fantastic. If anybody at home is currently shrimping out, consider correcting that. You only have one spine, you do not want it to look like a slinky. Unless your slinky spine granted you, like, the ability to reach things on higher shelves, that would be pretty nifty. Not that low fertility soil. I wouldn't mind, like, Go-Go Gadget Extendo arms. Like, I'm 5'11", even though I tell people I'm 5'9". I wouldn't mind the ability to extend my arms a theoretically infinite amount of distance. Would probably look terrible, though. Maybe, like, Go-Go Gadget Extendo legs. Just like stilts built into my shin bones. I don't know what I'm on about. Sure do be saying a lot of shit, though. It is getting dark. What's rift activity? Calm. Can still be attacked by sentries when rift activity is calm. What if I can't make like a scarecrow to scare away the bunnies? Damn things are probably going to eat all my flax. Boom ba-doom. Almost done with what I'm doing. At least for the immediate. Once I get a saw, I can also make a small animal cage. No reason to start breeding rabbits. The only real good stuff you can get out of them is like pitiful amounts of meat. And then like small hides. Although small hides are actually pretty decent for making paper. In like a fucked up meat paper kind of way. Obviously it's not meat paper, it's just skin paper. It's still a tiny bit weird. Alright, hare does not seem to have been eating my crops. If I do find rabbits getting a little bit too familiar with my crops, though, probably get some small amount of meat from them. Welcome back, Zombie Ace. Tervetuloa. That means welcome. I don't know how to say welcome back, actually. I would like to work on my Finnish audio lessons, but, like, my phone is refusing to charge. Apparently holding 75-degree copper is totally fine. That is Suomi, or Finnish. Okay, well, there we go. Anvil, get. Wait a minute, I screwed up. I can't easily get out of this hole. It's not that hard to get out of this hole. I can't do it easily, though. Alright. Put you back where I found you. And put that there. I still need to make a forge. I'm gonna make some porridge using spelt. Yoink. I'm pretty sure I saw some red currant around here somewhere. Although I should really look for stuff during the day when I can actually see. Maybe I was hallucinating the red currant. I've hallucinated weirder stuff. For legal reasons, I'm joking. Oh, hey, fireflies. Is there like a primitive net I can make? Not netherite. Bug net. That is the one that requires nails. I don't think there is a primitive net. Or if there is, it's called something else. Yeah, I usually just use like a small pit of water on the ground. I am working my way towards being able to make a bucket. As soon as I can start actually collecting water and moving it around, we'll be able to do quite a bit more stuff. That rabbit's making some odd noises. I think I'm going to find that red currant. Honestly, there's no way that I saw the red currant over here, so I don't know what I'm doing over here. Yes. I'm in a valley. There are small space raptors. I've actually got art of this very character. They are a necromancer. Unfortunately, there is not a necromancy mod for a vintage toy. There is a skeleton model, though, so I just gotta get some friends to play as skeletons and then just roleplay as my minions. I'm sure Merple would do it, but Merple is busy with, like, school and employment. I'm just busy with employment, like some kind of fucking loser. I am joking. Honestly, if I didn't have an actual job, I would probably be bored out of my mind. It would be cool if I could make, like, decent amounts of money. Hey, you stay away from my crops. I'm just playing video games online. But it's gotta be pretty damn lucky to do that. And even if I could make rent just streaming, I'd probably want to have something I can look forward to during the day. I guess not during the day since I sleep during the day, but like look forward to it at night. Ooh, holes. Just a college potato. If it was possible to do what our ancestors did and just like be perpetual students. I really like learning things. The problem is that the American education system is a scam. So I would like to go to college, but all I would be doing is buying into the scam. Well, there's bees. Where'd those red currants go? Oh yeah, America kinda sucks. I would like to move to Finland, but it sounds hard. I barely speak any Finnish, although to be fair, it's a lot of people in certain parts of Finland speak little to no Finnish. I have a buddy, hello there, who moved from... one second. I have a buddy from Oulu who moved to California and was learning Finnish. And I'm like trying to get him to learn Finnish with me because apparently, despite the fact that he grew up in Finland, he speaks like no Finnish. And well, it's not common. Apparently that happens in some parts of Finland. I am not going to find that red currant. In fact, I'm confident I'm just going in circles. I could just eat multiple fistfuls of breadcrumbs and then just go to sleep and pass time today. Or I could look for red currant a tiny bit more efficiently. Oop. Let's see what's down here. I keep walking past these caves. Hello? Seems like there's nothing down here. Yep. Oh, that is a strange oak tree. It's growing like half sticking out of the wall. Well, Sweden, depending on where you live, they do speak some Finnish, but it's like a weird bastardization of Finnish and Swedish. I don't know what it's called on the Swedish side, but on the Finnish side, where they speak meänkieli, it's called meänkieli. Where the fuck are those red currants? I purposely did not pick them because I was going to make some porridge. And now I can't fucking find them anywhere. What are you? Yeah. Finnish is actually one of the harder languages to learn up in Europe. I guess Polish is difficult to learn for a lot of the same reasons. But I can't remember if Polish is easier or harder. Ow. Yeah, I get it. I'm starving to death. I'm looking for berries. Okay, fine. I'll just head back home, eat some breadcrumbs. Crawl into bed. Honestly, I would much rather be playing on a big server. Have somebody build my house for me. I'll keep everybody fed. But if I have to focus on more than just making food, I'll be walking around starving. Alright, my furrows are good. I'm confident that the hares are just over here fucking with my flax. Yeah, but like in English, we do not have something called partitive speech, where basically a word will change completely based on how much and whether it's the subject or the predicate of a sentence. No, but both Finnish and Polish have partitive speech. Out the arse. Yeah, I get it. You're starving. Must eat breadcrumbs. If I wasn't too lazy to make a fence, I could probably get my cows out. And Polish is Cyrillic. That could be why it is a harder language to learn, as well as having partitive speech. Although I've got buddies in Poland, and Poland is swinging concerningly conservative lately. Beautiful daylight. I actually don't like the sun in real life, but in Vintage Story, I can't stress enough how cool it is to be able to actually see. Let's see here. Femboy capitalism? Not entirely sure what that means. There is a 3-hour video documentary that I keep getting recommended about why, like, neo-Nazis are obsessed with femboys. And I'm like, is that a thing? If I ever got recommended the documentary when I actually had time to sit down for that amount of time and watch, like, well, not watch, but listen to it, I probably would. But does YouTube not know that I am busy? Berries? No, no berries. What? I mean, the world is a strange place, so I suppose. Oh, why are there 2 bowthorns just chilling out on the surface? I wish these bowthorns would get a fucking hobby. Onions. Oh, none of them are mature yet. How are you doing, Pocket? Oh my goodness. What are you? Oh, it's a little fox kit. I wish you could domesticate foxes. I mean, humans haven't domesticated foxes IRL. Oh, but there are plenty of good examples of foxes basically becoming like a docile. Since you last asked, or I last asked. That's fair. I don't suppose you know where those berries are I'm looking for, do you? I don't know why you would, if I don't know where they're at. I've passed some red currants that were ripe like 30 times, and now that I'm actually looking for them, I can't remember where they are. Here's some black currants. There's the red currants. If I can get at least 4, I can make some decent porridge. Oh, 5. Well, I'm not very good with numbers, but 5 is at least 4. Let's go back and do some cooking. And then I should probably stop being silly and make a forge. What's in here? The only thing preventing me from making a door is that I do not have a saw, so I should really get around to making the saw. Do do do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and smack these in there as well. Nope, nope. There we go. I think I saw a sentry. Hopefully I didn't see a sentry. Those things are annoying. Nope, starving to death again. That's fine, look. Got a single red currant. Was that the sound of a sentry? Could just be becoming paranoid. Most deserted plains ever. Yeah, world generation is odd. I only planted them recently, so they're not going to grow berries anytime soon. But I've got this wall of black and white currant, where I've got it like checkerboarded. So this is black currant, and then white currant. And then this one is black currant and white currant. And black currant, white currant, black currant, white currant. It is cool that they'll grow like that. There is red currant in the area, but I'm not growing the red currant on purpose. It just happened to already be here. I'm also growing blueberries. Wherever the blueberries are. Over here. I think blueberries are the best in the game. Let me check. Blueberry is 80 satiety. Actually, I think black currants are the same. Black currant is also 80. I don't know why I thought blueberries were the best. No, they're still nice to have. Interestingly, if you get fruit trees are just as good as berries, except that fruit, like apples and pears, last so much longer in storage. Alright, see how good this porridge is. Used my food as a shovel. Boom. Alright, so we've got 480 grain satiety, 240 fruit. It's gonna be a while until I can make some really good food. Yeah, but for now, we're surviving off the land. Okay. I've not made a cellar. It is on the to-do list. I also need to make a door. Let's go and get a shovel. Shovel get. See if I can't find that clay. Ooh, a lot of these carrots are already ready. Carrots are not very good for much else other than feeding animals, but I'm gonna make a stew out of that for sure. Right, so somewhere around here is a bunch of clay. I was pretty sure, anyway, that there was a bunch of clay around here. I don't think I collected all of it. Here we go. There we go. Don't need that much. Inside of a mountain. I usually build my house in the side of a mountain. No, but I've also clearly cheated to get some magic. Give myself some overpowered tools to start. Hey. Get away from here, hare. And can't have the hares eating my crops. I don't know if they even will eat grains, but if I start growing vegetables, I don't want the hares getting into them. Alright. Now I just need a bunch of limestone to make cobblestone, and then I can make a forge. Like, let's see here. I've got a bunch of growing peanuts, some growing corn. I chose not to grow my potatoes, because where I'm living, it's going to start getting pretty damn hot. I know that they eat vegetables. Hello there. I don't want to kill you because you're cute. It is strange that I don't like killing animals, even though I'm currently playing as an obligate carnivore. Let's not go down there. I suppose I could just stop being lazy. Put that there. Not the axe. Actually, what am I thinking? I don't need to use tools. I can do this. There we go, that's more cobblestone than I will ever need. Obviously, that's not true. Whip, let me out. Let me out. There we go. It is kind of sad that I can squeeze through one block gaps, but I can't jump through one block gaps. Yeah, I'll probably set up fences. I'm going to have to dig out more space to do that. Probably a little bit bigger of an issue around where I actually care, which is over there-ish. Oh, great, it's one of those sentry fuckers. See that floating green thing? Most annoying thing in this mod. Let's go and just put my grain somewhere it'll stay fresh for a long time. Right, come at me, Scrublord, I'm ripped. There are offensive spells, but they suck. So it is actually better for me to just conjure an axe. Whoop. I uninstalled it because it was getting distracting, but there is a mod called Feverstone Wilds. I've already had an axe. So Feverstone Wilds does not have it yet, but one of the planned features is a potion that will allow you to enlarge spiders and then make like a giant spider mount. Which is a huge fan of spiders. I'm game. I want a giant spider mount. Alright, forge. That's what I'm doing. Whip-a-pew. There we go. Oh, I had more clay than that. What am I doing? Other than being a dork. There we go. Boom. Smack that there. Make sure that I'm not going to be harassed. Rift activity is calm. Fuck yeah. light this up. I wish I wasn't so fucking short. I'm mostly joking. My short stature is mostly willing. Look at it go. I'm just baking my copper. As soon as I have a saw, it's over for everybody. I'm gonna start making barrels. I'm gonna make a bucket or 5. Probably 5. Just have to make sure there are no sentries in the sky, because sentries are dicks. I'm going to try not to. No, but if sentries continue to be so annoying, I'm probably going to set the game back to passive. I'll turn monsters to aggressive if I'm exploring dungeons. But because of my ADHD, I'm bad enough at actually completing tasks as it is. Completing tasks. And so if, like, the one moment I'm actually trying to get something productive done, I'm attacked, it just ruins the moment for me. A lot of people aren't going to be happy if you remove more of the challenge from the game, but, like, oh, a hackle. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's the new, or it's not, that's something else entirely. Saw blade. There we go, copper saw blade. Life would be easier if I could see. Let's go ahead and spin it. Bring these down. Honestly, forging is really therapeutic. Like, this is just positive vibes all around. Maybe I would not be saying the same thing if I got attacked while trying to make a saw. Boom, boom. Unfortunately, I still don't have water nearby. Spin it. Alright. Let's go ahead and throw this in water. Could you imagine if you accidentally, like, smacked a fish in the face with an 800°C piece of metal? I think that fish would be very upset. You cool enough to hold? Yep. Although technically, you don't even need it to cool. You can just immediately smack it onto a stick. Alright, saw get, which means we can actually start making doors and shit. A tool rack would be a good piece of kit. Alright, well, let's go be excessive. Anyway, now that I've got a saw, I should probably actually make fish traps. Fish are like my primary source of food, and I'm currently not catching them. Just make sure there aren't bees in here. Doesn't sound like it. And boom. Alright. Considering I want long-term walnuts, I should be cutting down the leaves first. There are plenty of walnuts in the area. I'll be fine to be careless. I just have to stop being careless at some point. That point can't be never, but it does not have to be immediately. Whoop. Alright. Go and turn like 2/3 of these into planks. There we go. I'm not weird, everyone else is weird. Come on, keep stacking. This is only a tiny bit absurd. We'll be able to see the scope of the absurdity as soon as it's done. Whoop. Alright. Almost done. Very nearly. Boom. Check out my walnut planks. I couldn't tell you why I'm like this. Just that I am. Whoop-a-bo. Solid door. Whoops. Excited to not be constantly digging in and out of my own house. Boom. It's a thing of beauty. Speaking of thing of beauty, what do you think we should name this skeleton? Also, no, you can't have any of my porridge, it's mine. We're going to have to come up with a name for this guy. It's got some weird-ass hitboxes, though. Alright. Go ahead and set that there. Meditate on this plank. There is a method to my madness. The held objects reacts to your mana. There we go. I now have access to transmutation too. It's going to make getting sticks significantly easier. What is rift activity? Rift activity is calm. It doesn't mean I'm not going to be harassed, but I should be fine. To make a pair of shears. Yep, it's lit. Damn, my inventory is a mess. It is true what they say. A disorganized mind leads to a disorganized workspace. Let's go and straighten that out. Not because I care that it's at a weird angle, but because it being at a weird angle makes rotating it odd. Hey Bob, you should totally get a PC. And then when I do get a Vintage Story server going, you could totally join. I need more people playing as skeletons, doing my mining and stuff for me. Come on. Sometime this week. I'm starting to think that I'm just really impatient. Rift activity is still calm. Well, we would want some Avali and some skeletons, obviously. Skeletons basically don't need to eat. Like, they do, but very, very rarely. So if you're there for, like, chore-based activities, probably be a skeleton. If you're there to roleplay as part of the tribe, or pack, rather, then be an Avali. But I do need skeleton minions. Avali Satu can have some skeletons as a treat. Since most of Avali Satu's lore has come from modded Vintage Story, and Avali just were not raiders, I don't think that they regularly animated the corpses of other Avali. Mostly just humans, and on extremely rare occasions, some of the beast folk. Like, you'd be surprised how often elephant people were like raiders for some reason. I don't know why. Like, the elephant person mod was just, they were just weirdly hostile all the time. Although I have seen videos of elephants just straight up crushing somebody's skull in. So it's not like elephants aren't dangerous. But usually if an elephant is attacking people, it's because the people started it, or it's had bad experiences with humans in the past. Like, despite how dangerous they are, I wouldn't describe elephants as bloodthirsty killing machines. You know what I mean? Bum-ba-dum. Let's get this shit done. I'm probably damaging my hammer more than I have to. There are definitely more efficient ways to make a pair of shears. Oh, one more. What was it that I was making that I fucked up? I think a chisel. Let's not lose that. Do 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 do. Should be cool. Pick it up. You cool? Yes, we're cool. Go ahead and leave it here, just for storage reasons. Set you here. We'll set you all here. What? Fucking, there we go. Palion Kokelo on. It's only 9 something. I totally don't just look at the hour and then call it good. I do think it would be fun to, on a server, play with Rustbound Magic without actually cheating. Like, as much as I want to like Rustbound Magic, it's just so grindy. Whoops, you put that back down. Alright. Whoops. Nope. I'm going to need a bunch of sticks, so let's go ahead and collect some walnuts. And obviously sticks. Maybe get some oak as well. Because if I come into here for a cork, it requires, yeah, some boiled oak bark, which is just some oak bark. Okay. And then I boil that. That's not too bad. It does mean actually making bottles with corks is a lot harder than it used to be. But I think that as well as making it more difficult, they also buffed the food preservation qualities. Yep, I know what I'm talking about. So I've got the custom, or I've got the player model library. I've got Rustbound Magic, expanded foods. I have a butchering mod, which I've not actually played with. I have no, I brought up expanded foods. I have the medieval expansion, which adds cows, among other things. And then I've got primitive survival, because I usually survive off of fish. I have not even started collecting fish yet. But a lot of these sticks can be used to make were traps. So soon we shall start collecting fish. Honestly, since Avali are obligate carnivores, like they can eat things other than meat, but their diet has to be primarily meat, I should have started collecting fish ages ago. Like, their specific diet isn't actually part of the mod. But if I'm going to be playing as an Avali, I might as well do it correctly. Not getting any acorns. Yeah, I'm not getting any acorns at all. What's up with that? Whoop-a-boo. I can't tell you how long it took me to discover that click and drag trick. Very useful trick. I can't imagine that trick is very well known, otherwise somebody would have told me about it in the comments. Either that or people just like to watch me suffer. Which is possible. So As much as I like entertaining strangers, strangers seem to be sadists, and take nothing but, like, pleasure from your suffering. Oh, right. Okay, I've gotten a single acorn this entire time. Somebody needs to buff the drop rate of tree seeds. This is absurd. Could you imagine how expensive oak wood would be in real life if you only got like a single acorn from a tree? Do you know how much less annoying living next to an oak tree would be if you didn't get 1,000 acorns every year? YouTube tends to screw stuff up. If you've got a Twitch account, I'm also streaming on Twitch. If you do switch to Twitch, be sure to use the check-in command, or whatever it is called. I don't currently know how to set it up. To where it, like, keeps track of how many times you've checked in. But it's on the to-do list. Yeah, it's Storyteller WMD on Twitch as well. Twitch actually pays me better, and has fewer ads than YouTube. I'm not entirely sure what's up with that. If YouTube is going to pay less per ad, play fewer ads. Come on, YouTube. I mean, obviously I'm not doing this to make a living, although the fact that I am making money doing something that I would be doing anyway is pretty cool. I'm trying to put some of that money back into my YouTube channel. I commissioned an artist who got sick and has since disappeared again. I'm sure they're fine. Oh yeah, no, they're exceptionally poorly placed. I have 3 minutes of ads per hour, which is unfortunately higher than I would like it to be, but if I set it to lower than that, I would get pre-roll ads. Eck. I have to be careful with those guys. They deal fire damage, and a volley are particularly weak to fire. Alright, where'd you go? Come here. I can't have you floating around, causing trouble. I'm just out here chillaxing, relaxing, maxing all cool, shooting some b-ball outside of school. When a couple of fire sentries who are up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. Could you please just die? The sooner you die, the less running around I have to do. Alright, and it's dead. Do small rust crystal. You know what, you can keep it. I have arrived. Hello, zombie ace. Thank you for the follow. I wonder what my follower count is. I should really check that sort of thing. It would be cool if YouTube had a feature kind of like the activity feed on Twitch. Like if somebody subscribes to my stream while I'm on YouTube, I have no way of knowing they did it. And while I'm sure most would understand, I'd imagine that subscribing to a channel and then them not even noticing you did it is probably a tiny bit annoying. Immediately pushed ads. It's not visible on my screen when ads are about to start, but it does warn me. Alright. I need more inventory space. Oh, there we go. Gotta make 2. There we go. I can put my wands up here since I'm not currently using them. I do wish that Rustbound Magic would remove the You're a Wizard Harry achievement. Everybody knows that J.K. Rowling is a TERF. Allegedly. I don't think I have to protect my ass legally. Honestly, could you imagine trying to sue for defamation because somebody called you a TERF when your entire identity on Twitter is just being a TERF? I know a bunch of buddies who are like really into Harry Potter in school. This was before J.K. Rowling was experiencing all the black mold that told her to say awful shit online. I could never really get into it. I read like the first 3 books. And then I saw the first movie, the second movie, and then the second half of the 7th movie. Oh yeah, you can sue people in a state that neither of you live in, and that's just honestly insane to me. It's like, oh, in California, which is where I live, you cannot sue somebody just because they said something you don't like. And it's like, alright, well, I'm going to sue them in Ohio, a state neither of us live in. And then the American legal system is like, yeah, alright, that tracks. I should probably stop breaking my copper knife. Well, but to be fair, I didn't make this copper knife either. I found it. Yeah, usually, I mean, he's dead now. Rest in piss. But it was people like Bob Murray who were like, oh, you're telling the truth about me online? Well, I'm sending you a cease and desist. I don't know what it is, but like, apparently, awful rich people hate when you call them out for being awful and rich. I'm not saying that you can't be rich and not awful, I'm just saying that it does seem to be pretty rare. Like with a couple of exceptions. You're either born into money because your parents are assholes, or you have money because you're an asshole. And usually if you're born into money, you're probably also an asshole. Like, I am generalizing quite a lot here. But as somebody who has pattern recognition, that do seem to be how it be. They may not think it be like it is, but it do. To quote Black Science Man. I wonder if, I mean, surely he's seen it. Neil deGrasse Tyson is online. There's no way he has not seen that. That's just unfortunate. You see a lot of misanthropes who just hate humanity as a whole because of the actions of like a small amount of genuinely awful people. And it's like, I can't stress enough that most people, or at least I would like to believe this, like most people are good. Like, we're capable of empathy when we see somebody struggling, even if we can't help out to the extent that they possibly need. Like, most people will see somebody who needs help, and at least try to help them. And then there's like that small amount of people where it's like, oh, I can't help others. I need all the money. Me. And of course, then there are also like the NIMBY folks who are like, oh, we can't be all-inclusive, because like, for everybody to have housing, we would have to be living in dirt huts with no furniture. And it's like, I can't express enough how stupid that is. Living modestly does not mean having no luxuries at all. It means having very limited luxuries. Like, you do not need an 80-inch television to live comfortably. Alright, fine, I'll sit back up. I'm just collecting cattails. And rambling about the economy. Sitting up. Don't let me forget to replant these cattails, because if I do not plant these cattails, I won't have more in the future for my cattail needs. Now, the ones not in the water are fine. I mean, I should move them as well. Yeah, I remember a couple months ago, I was sick, so I texted my sister, who still lives close by. My family is pretty scattered, but not that scattered. Like, we're in different countries in different states. But multiple of us are still in California. Anyway, I texted my sister. It's like, hey, there's $70 in it for you if you bring me $50 worth of soup. And then my sister is like, alright, bet. And then she showed up and handed me a bag with some saltines and like 3 cans of soup. I'm like, wow, this is $50 of soup? The economy is in shambles. And she's like, it is, but no, there's more soup. Alright, that should be enough. I can make some weird traps. Oh, that fish's weight is actually good. You almost never see that. What we need is a game update to where like we can actually breed fish. Like fish farming is a pretty modern thing, but like you can breed every other animal. Why not let me breed fish? The alternative is just using primitive survival all the time. Fish hatcheries, yeah. Like, I'm sure they didn't have fish hatcheries in the time this is supposed to be taking place, but, like, it makes sense to be able to do. We can farm every other type of animal. Alright, that's weir trap number 1. This is not a very good pond for building weir traps. Weir trap number 2. Oh, that's too wide. I'm fucking it up. There you go. Weir trap number 3. Weir traps are actually not even the best way to catch fish. Yeah, fish are constantly starving. So, like, if you do go out of your way to try to collect fish for making food, you're gonna get, like, basically no fish meat. But it's like, how did that fish have 0 fish in it? It's like those collection quests in an MMO, where it's like, oh, I need you to go get, like, 7 boar skulls. And it's like, oh, well, that can't take too long. Logically, all of these boars have a skull. And the game is like, well, you would think that. But the problem is that you're thinking logically. Perhaps your main weapon is a hammer. And when you killed the boar, it lost most of its skull. Are you still a weir trap? You totally are, fuck yeah. Nope, not a good space there. That's not a good space either. Oh, whoops. There we go, another weir trap. Weir trap. I should get better at commentating. Like, what I'm doing right now is repetitive as hell. But I should, as an entertainer, be able to fill the silence a little bit better than I am. There is a pretty interesting story behind this game, actually. Somebody was talking about a lore video they found in chat. I want to say it was Pocket. Alright. That's a bunch of weird traps. Let's see here. Here's a good spot for it. What? So pretty much, Nick Jonas, or maybe it was Joe Jonas, I don't know, I'm not keeping up with the Kardashians, befriended, like, was Jonas the son of a noble, or was Jonas the son of a farmer? One of them was the son of a noble, the other one was the son of a farmer. Jonas had a buddy named Tobias, who was actually still alive, but that's a spoiler. Damn it, I can't put my cordage on the ground. What am I supposed to do with all this cordage? I guess I can make some... fish traps. In fact, messed up the recipe. It's fine. Not that hard. There we go, 2 fish traps. And these are better if you bait them. I won't be doing that, though, because I am broke as shit and lazy. Alright, there we go. 2 fish traps. They should both be at full capacity. You're a bit behind. Yeah, YouTube does that. Does anybody remember what I was doing? Well, I don't. It's only almost my bedtime, although I don't work tonight, so I can stay up a little bit later than 7. What's going on with my bamboo? Hopefully they grow soon. With trees, it'll tell you how much longer it's got until it'll grow. With the bamboo, I'm just guessing. Okay, so I cannot plant this where there's already grass. Unfortunate. It makes sense, but I was hoping I could be lazier. As soon as I start keeping bees, I'm going to want a ton of cattail sitting around. Although I do have from golden combs. And Tobias is the son of the farmer. It makes sense that Jonas would be the son of the noble. Despite having done all of the story content currently in the game, I would be lying if I said I was actually reading any dialogue. I just did it so that if I do end up doing it on stream, I don't embarrass myself getting lost in the Resident Archives, which I probably will still end up doing. Sure, the Resident Archives are the same every time you do them. But I am, like, really stupid. I am room temperature IQ for sure. I don't even believe in IQ. I just know that mine is really low. Boom. Honestly, anybody who tries to bring up their high IQ, even if they're not lying, they're probably just not cool. It's like, oh, I've got an IQ of 145. When it's like, sweet, nobody cares, nerd. Well, yeah, I just wish that it was easier to loot the Resident Archives. A lot of stuff just won't let you pick it up. Which is unfortunate, because there's a lot of cool stuff there. Have you been to the, what is it called? The Devastation yet? Aesthetically, I fucking love the Devastation. Somebody should make me a mod that spawns like a miniature Devastation, not tied to story beats. So that I can, like, set up a house there. I can't be the only person who wants to live in the Devastation. Although I suppose more people are sane than I am. What's rift activity? Medium. So I probably don't want to be outside. Let's go ahead and grab some breadcrumbs. I don't know if I can put 8 breadcrumbs. I'll try, but there's a chance that I'll only be able to do 4. Which means that this carrot soup is not going to be very good. Nope. Can't use 4. Or you can't use 8. Real quick before it does get dark. Nope, those are just hairs. Oh, already starving to death. What are you? Sugar beet? I wouldn't want to put sugar beet. There we go. And I can even eat one. Just to currently fight off the starvation. IQ tests are racist. My youngest sibling applied to work. Oh, no matching recipe found. Well, I guess I'm just eating these then. My youngest sibling applied to work at McDonald's. And they make you take a fucking IQ test. How absurd is that? Right, let's go and light this up. I'm gonna go all night. Gonna light it up like it's dynamite. Because I told you once. And I told you... Or now I told you twice. The fuck, I could have totally used these turnips. That's not too late. Assuming it even lets me. It could be too late? Nope, it's not too late. Because that'll keep for a while, let's go ahead and just eat these raw turnips. Oh, you gotta go? Alright, thanks for stopping by and keeping me company. Actually, it is 7 a.m. my time zone, which is around when I usually stop streaming, but I don't work tonight. So I can get away with streaming for a tiny bit longer. I have a lot of chores to do, in real life and in game. So the smartest thing to do with my time would be to do the chores in-game, while I neglect my IRL chores. Hell, if I let my living space get messy enough, I could be the far-left Asmongold. Asmongold being the far-right Asmongold. I wouldn't let my living space get that bad. Hell, even if I... Oh, fish. My housemate wouldn't let me let the living space get that bad. I don't know how Asmongold let his living space get to that bad, but I can understand the brain just being like, oh, I'm not even going to process this as an issue. Fish. Fish. Glorious fish. Oh, shit. Both won. Y'all will never take me alive, sucker. Are you done cooking? No. I'm collecting large amounts of fish when I do not have a cellar yet. Probably sounds like a bad idea. So perhaps the smart thing to do with my time would be to actually build a cellar. Maybe get some nails and strips. I don't know why I did that. It was unnecessary. I just felt like putting a ladder in there. This could be why I never have any fucking ladders. I mean, obviously, I think this is the first time I've actually done that. Boom. See how good this soup is. 450 vegetable, 202 grain. Not very good. Honestly, I gotta start making some food with meat. Throw that on there. And throw that on there. Couldn't tell you why I'm like this. Funny, though. I'm amused. Oh, there's a shiver outside. Although the shiver outside is frightful, the random human corpse is so delightful. Hello? I see you trying to get in. Let's go and sleep. Surely my fish won't go bad as I sleep. That would be rude. One concern that I have, though, is if you look at my house, I don't exactly have space for, like, an entrance to a cellar. I guess I could remove one of my beds. Maybe stack them? No, I want to keep that bed. This one will be the entrance to the cellar. There we go. Stacked beds. You know those super comfortable bunk beds where you have like 6 inches of space? My fish. Are these charred? No. Right, how do I make... Oh, there's a both one. Come here, fucker. Ow, don't melee attack me. Your whole shtick is range. That being said, if I'm going to make a bow, and I would like to, I should start collecting these arrows. Ooh, and a temporal gear. Go ahead and set our spawn point to right here at the corner of the lake for some reason. Anyway, no more distractions. Is it just this? No. No. Alright, how to make a trapdoor. Okay, so I'm missing 3 sticks. I can't store bow and arrows on the ground? The fuck's up with that? Maybe I don't want to collect bow and arrows if I can't stack them on the ground. My preferred system of organization. Alright, come here. Would you come down here where I can actually hit you, please? I don't know if the first person bow animations for the Avali model are broken, or if it is specifically the ones, like if you have combat overhaul. I think it's if you have combat overhaul. I'm hoping. What am I doing? I've got sticks. I've got sticks for days! Well, it's a good thing I set my spawn point. Almost got struck by lightning. Nope, cannot store these bow and arrows anywhere. You'll feel better tomorrow. Well, that's a walnut grated door. I don't know if I can make a cellar with that. I think it still counts. Alright. Let's dig down. It's gonna bother somebody, so let's go ahead and use my axe as a shovel. Alright. Run into an issue now where I've got an axe, but what I need is a pickaxe. I knew this was going to become an issue. I knew it was going to become an issue almost immediately. Pickaxe get. Alright. Let's go and make our tiny cellar. Are you jealous of my amazing building skills? I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If there was anything to be jealous of, it would be how effortlessly I'm able to just conjure tools. Of course, I cheated. This is an actual obtainable ability, but I did not obtain it. Boom, ba-doom. What I don't have is chests. We'll need to make those. I should also try to avoid, if at all possible, just using my cellar as like a general storage. But it's just so easy to do. Alright. Smack that there. This should count as a cellar. Bum-ba-dum. It's a good amount of limestone in the area. It's almost like this is a lime biome. Oh, fuck. There we go. I do not have a lot of copper. This will become an issue pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. Gotta make some nails and strips. What's here? How do I make a sealing jar? Does it have to be glass? I think it does. But can I use quartz glass? I think I can. Because if I can make a good way to store my grains, I don't have to keep them in my chest. And that would free up a good amount of space. And while I wait for this copper to melt, let's go ahead and check on my crops. My crops aren't going to have grown, I'm just checking on the furrows. Furrows? Yoink. Oh yeah, 2 liters of rot. Boom. I'm getting a good amount of stuff. I'm just checking my furrows so constantly. I also need to set hooks across that. It's on the to-do list. Where are my other crops? Over here. I'm not being as fast as I was hoping to be. Alright, these furrows are actually totally fine. Let's go. Ooh, a rift. I need to stop getting distracted, but I should actually probably plant flowers near that. I might bring you up to temp. Stop holding that in my offhand. Where'd my, these go? Oh, they got room for one, or enough material to make one. I'm stacking these on the ground. Happy birthday to the ground. Let it go. It's taking its sweet time. I don't have flowers to plant under there. It's not a difficult fix. Woad also counts as a flower. We're going to ignore the sheer quantity of flowers I've just kind of thrown away. Come on, transform. There's one over there as well. Hello, Christina Blackfeather. How are you doing? Oh, sweet. I should really get around to actually collecting large quantities of flowers for the purpose of transformation. Well, that's Tulle. Tulle. I have flowers, but they don't count. Oh yeah, I freaking love this game. I'm not perhaps the most patient vintage story player. My favorite things to do in this game are just kind of grow crops, raise livestock. Fruit orchards are kind of fun to take care of, although it's really passive. But look at it. I want that fish. And if you're wondering why my model is so short, it's because I'm in a volley. They are obligate carnivore space raptors. So I should be eating more meat than I am. Hence all the fish traps. But I'm only just working on a cellar. So I don't currently have anywhere to keep all my fish meat. Nope, I was trying to grab another serving. There we go. I would like to play this game more than I do. I really only play it if I'm streaming it. Which has not ruined my enjoyment of the game at all. I think what I really want is just more free time. Go away, rabbits. I don't usually live in locations with hares, so I'm probably going to have to build fences around my crops to keep the hares out. My corn is coming along nicely. My potatoes are actually coming along more nicely than I thought they would. Oh shit, do I have a wand on me? I don't. I don't have a wand on me. Looks like we're breaking this one. Alright. We got a runic scroll 3. Some enchanted stone. An arcanum. Like a really good one. I'm gonna just place this over here. I'll surely find that in the future. There's one more thing floating around down here. And some Zeganite, or Zeganite, whatever you say that. Play a lot off camera. Well, that's totally fair. Is your username the same as, like, the displayed name? Because if it is, I'll try to remember to check you out. I don't watch him as often as I used to, but the streamer that got me into the game, Kurazar, I will sometimes watch stream. Not a lot of good... Well, that's not entirely fair. Not a lot of big vintage toy streamers. A lot of little guys. Much including myself. Although I'm non-binary, and therefore, by definition, not a guy. Let's fucking go. I don't know what I'm on about. I'm just trying to do a bunch of stuff at once, and I'm doing none of it well. I don't know where my planted rift bloom went. Oh, there's my planted rift bloom. Alright, there we go. We are going to become the greatest spellcasters the world has ever known before you know it. Probably not, but one can dream. I really gotta get this chest made before the fish disappear. Yeah, I'm in Kurazar's community Discord. Damn it, it's soft. I have my own community Discord, but currently we're not doing anything vintage toy related. If I can get my buddy, who was hosting my last modded vintage story server, to host another one, I'll probably open it up to the community. In my community, though, we've only got like 3 other vintage story players. What? I can't put this scroll in my oven. There we go. That's decent storage. I've really got to talk to the developer of Rustbound Magic. Ask that more stuff be able to be placed on the ground. It's how I organize things. Perhaps it's not the best system of organization, but being able to keep stuff on the ground is great. Like, check out how tall this pile of walnut planks is. My saw is almost broken. Surely those two things aren't related. Whoops, that's not what I was trying to do. You hardened yet? No. Yeah, my fire logs, or my firewood log pile, was not that tall, but it used to be taller. And then I did enter the Copper Age, even though the entire time I've been able to do this. Oh, not enough mana. I'm pretty clearly cheating. But I will eventually be able to craft my own spells, which is good, because there is a spell that allows you to befriend animals. Look at it. I wish I could go to the Rust dimension. I would be fine. I'm built different. I'm a Rust mage. Well, actually, my Volley is a farmer. There we go. Come on. I gotta make a chest so I can go to bed. It is past my bedtime. Not by a whole lot, mind. It's 7:15 in the morning. Whoop. Sometimes my ability to jump 2 blocks tall does get me stuck in odd places. Come on. Rápidamente, por favor. No peas tiquitos. Tosi no peasti. Or would it be Covine? Nope, definitely not Covine. Tosi. And it's good. Good. Weird. Normally it doesn't get that hot. Did I actually put in more than 2? I might have put in more than 2 copper, or not copper, more than 2 brown coal by accident. Oh, but nobody ever said I wasn't wasteful. Let's get this made so that I can make some trunks and go to bed. Like in real life. I'm unfortunately pretty EP. Not sure what that was. If the rain is going to affect my metal that I'm working, I should probably build a roof. That might actually be what that sizzling is. That would be funny if the nails I'm trying to make just exploded, forcing me to have to go find more copper. Oh, wrong tool. I do think that in the upcoming update, there's like a break chance for everything you forge. Like when you go to quench it. Well, shit has a chance to just explode. Which is probably going to be annoying if you're not flush with resources. Currently all I have to my name is that rammed earth house. And I'm using the word house very loosely here. Yeah, it can happen with real life smithing. I like the amount of realism that Vintage Story has, but there is definitely a fine line between realistic and, like, just really annoying. There we go. That should be enough. Boom. Oh, what's that? Bookshelves? Alright. What button is it? Nope, not that. Could have sworn it was right click. Whatever, that's fine. And boom. Real quick, let's see what these look like out here. 2.4. Yeah. Unfortunately, the only real art I've ever dabbled in was poetry. I'm at 1.72, so maybe this door will not work for a cellar. Makes sense that I'd have to use a solid one. Honestly, I only made this one because I wasn't paying attention. Smack you there. How do I make a solid trapdoor? Whoops. Okay. You'd think I would have remembered that. But you would be wrong. There we go. Whoops. Yeah, no, that's not what I wanted. That's funny, but that's not what I wanted. There we go. Now I go proper cellar. Yes. Since it is underground, I'm going to use both of these. Yoink. Put one there and one there. That's going to make some torches to actually light that up. And then I'll chop up all the fish that I've got in traps around. Oh, it's just a butterfly. I keep looking for spiders, although I removed the mod that adds them. I think I just really want spiders. If I make a one-block door, or like a one-block hole, well, let's put it here. Not like that. Come on, put it up sideways. You know what I want, game. Do it. Do it for me. There we go. Can I crawl through this? I can. Oh. There we go. Does this still count as a room? It does. Perfect. I've now got like a little side escape. Okay, very cute. Let's go ahead and take the tongs out of my offhand before I starve to death. Whoop. I don't know why. I really like that little side door. Could you imagine playing as a larger player model and not being able to squeeze through a one-block gap? What was I doing? Yes, I need to carve up my fish. I should also make some buckets so that I can start collecting seawater to turn into salt. Oh, damn. These are already catching fish. I mean, yeah, that's exactly why I made them. I usually bait my fish traps like a sucker. Apparently, you can get a ton of fish not even doing that. Which could be what people are complaining about when they say that primitive survival is too powerful. In fact, it almost certainly is. Check my last of the... What the hell? Oh, it's the lectern relic stuff. So primitive survival for some reason adds a lot of Lovecraftian horror. You can disable it. Oh great, there's a bowthorn over there. I fucking hate bowthorns. Also never did make a torch. Put those in there. Fresh for 5 days. It does take a long time without bait. Pocket, did you see my little side door? It would suck if a shiver could crawl through here still. How cute is that, since I'm able to crouch through one-block gaps? Do I have any limestone on me? No, but I do have flint. I can make little, fish hooks. I do have to be careful not to fish, like, overfish that lake. But it is a pretty big lake. Honestly, at a certain size, you don't have to worry too much about the population. Oh yeah, I would love the ability to fish in vanilla. Like, as much as I don't like Minecraft, at least not without a shit ton of mods, I actually do like fishing in Minecraft. I don't know, it's just another, like, food production thing to do. And since my favorite things to do in Vintage Story are just kind of grow food, including, like, crops and fruit trees, as well as take care of animals for that sweet, sweet cheese. Like, just collecting and preparing food is what I do for fun in these games. My job on the server that I used to play on was keeping 9 people fed, but the problem is that, like, slowly but surely, everybody just kind of stopped playing. And there was an extended period of time where it was just me cooking food as if I was still feeding, like, a small army. And then waiting for it to rot so that I could clean out the crocs and do it again. It was a very sad cycle. Nice. Well, I've got a community Discord. I will let you know if we ever get a Vintage Stories server. It will have a ton of mods. Whoop. I don't know if you want to join the Vintage Story, or not Vintage Story. It's the Aunt Satu community Discord. Let me figure out how to get a link. I've gotten links in the past, but I'm really dumb. There we go. I got it. Which one of you is YouTube chat? This one's YouTube chat. Nope. I'm gonna have to untransparify it. Well, that's why I couldn't click on it. It's so tiny. There we go. Well, it's just it's a work in progress. Very unfinished community Discord. Also have to be manually let in. Since I'm a queer streamer, you can never be too careful with raids. Ow, fucking both horns. This is why nobody likes both horns. I don't anyway. Alright. Where you at? Come here, shithead. I do like shivers. I don't know why both horns annoy me so much. I guess it's just because they're ranged. Like, shivers can definitely be annoying, but they're never as annoying as both horns. Alright, fire elemental dude, get down here. Come on, you also have to die if I want to be able to peacefully get shit done. Every single one of those attacks missed. I'm sure that if I could fly, it would be equally annoying. But flying enemies are a huge pain in the ass. Ow. Dude got me with fire damage. To be fair, while axes do more damage than other tools, they are not a weapon. There we go. Alright, now I can put hooks on my cordage. And then at some point I do gotta go to bed. Like, I'm having fun. But I cannot ignore the human need to sleep. Alright, so I need exactly 3 more hooks. Ooh, more fish. I should get a large field of Rift Bloom going somewhere. This is not a large field of Rift Bloom. Let's go ahead and carve up this fish. And then I do gotta go to bed, unfortunately. My fish. My knife. Where'd it go? There's my knife. Right, smack that in the cellar. I should also really make some torches. I've got the resources to do that now. 2 sticks, 4 grass. I'll put you on the ground. I do not think I've got a wand on me. Let's go ahead and rectify that. Yoink. I said yoink. Whoops. Alright, let's light these up. Yeah, with Rustbound magic, it takes a lot of build-up, or cheating, but you can make blue, white, and purple torches. I had some white and purple torches in my last save. You joined the Discord? Alright. I'll go ahead and do my outro and then let you in, assuming Flufferland doesn't beat me to it. I meant outro. Unless I said outro, in which case ignore me, I'm stupid. Alright. Wait. This cellar is more cramped than it looked in first person. Alright, so, / emote wave. How cute is that? Anyway, if you've been hanging out, whether you're chatting or just lurking. Biases will... Alright. Well, don't worry, you're among friends. I'm just AAA, hetero ace, agender, although I do just identify as non-binary asexual for the most part. Now, people like how I say hetero, so I will say hetero ace more often. Anyway, so if you've been hanging out, whether you're chatting or just lurking, I want you to know that you're appreciated. If you're watching this at some point in the future as a VOD and have somehow watched the entire thing, you have the patience of a saint and are equally appreciated. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and fizzity farewell. Of course, I don't have OBS open, so I can't